What's going on YouTube? It's Balthazar3457, and today I'm going to bring you guys a video slash guide thing related to archaeology and how you can get the epic weapons and general epic gear piece items and other rare items from archaeology in World of Warcraft Cataclysm. And as you'll see, I've leveled archaeology up to 275 on my DK. I'm currently working on getting him the epic two-handed sword from Troll Archaeology, Zin'kroh, the World Destroyer, or whatever it's called. And today I'm going to show you the little tactic that I use to get stuff out of archaeology. Now, archaeology guides are really pretty complicated because there's no way to 100% guarantee that whatever it is you want is ever actually going to drop. As it turns out, most of the rare drops from archaeology have so low a drop chance that odds are, over the course of leveling archaeology, you're not going to find it. And this is pretty problematic, so I'm going to show you the tactic that I use to boost your chances. Since there's no way to guarantee it drops, what I can do is I can show you how to boost your odds. Now, the two main items that are of contest are the two-handed staff from Dwarf Archaeology and the two-handed sword from Troll Archaeology. Now, depending on which one you want should influence how you level your archaeology. You're going to be in the Eastern Kingdoms either way, but if you're a caster and say you're after the caster staff, what I would do is I would make rounds around the Eastern Kingdom, collecting fossil, troll, and dwarf archaeology. And since the item you want is from dwarven archaeology, you'll just spend the fossil ones and the troll ones while you're leveling up. Now, the general consensus on Wowhead at the moment is that to get either of these two epic weapons, you have to be 450 skill in archaeology. So you want to save them up until you get there. This will boost your chances. So, if you're after the two-handed sword, save up your troll ones and spend dwarf and fossil. And if you're after the staff, spend dwarf and fossil, spend fossil and troll and save up your dwarf. Now, as you can see, I'm on my DK, so I've been spending my dwarf and fossil ones. But, as you can see, I've actually got quite a few troll ones saved up, and this is because I'm just saving them until I hit 450. Now, the way archaeology works is, the more and more you level up, the zones where you are sent to are going to change, and the consensus on Wowhead at the moment is that you're eventually going to be sent to Vashj'ir to collect nodes from Eastern Kingdoms, so it makes getting troll dig sites and dwarf dig sites and the like just all that more difficult when you finally get up to 450 and can actually get the staff or the sword as rare drops. And since there's no way to guarantee it, well, what you got to do is you got to boost your chances, since it's still a roll of the dice either way. So here's how you boost your, this is how you boost your odds. You save up, and you try to save up in a smart way, Don't spend any of your troll ones, grind to 100 before you make any archaeology solves, because that's when digging them up stops giving skill points. And also, an important thing to note is rune stones and keystones and the like. Now here's how the keystones work, and I'm going to add this into my video because not very many people seem to know how they work. I've had a lot of questions related to archaeology and what are rune stones, what are keystones, what are troll tablets, what do these do? So I will add an explanation to what they do in my video. Now, as it turns out, a lot of the potential solves that you can get from non-fossil archaeology might have a chance at having a slot for a keystone of some sort. And here's the slot over here in the bottom left. Now, what the keystone does is, if you are able to either solve whatever it is that you're solving, in this case it's the Scorched Staff of Shadow Priest Anud, if you can solve it with a keystone, then you can put a keystone into that slot and perform the solve. You can also put a keystone into the slot to get free fragments if the fragments bleed over, or if you have it full already. So basically, as you can see, I only have 23 fragments right now out of 35 that I would need to make this solve. If I had 35 already, I could still put a keystone in, and after I perform the solve, I would just have 12 extra fragments left over. And as a result of this, pretty much when you're leveling, you want to use a runestone or keystone or whatever it is that you have pretty much every time you are presented the option to use one, because you can't do this every time. So I'm going to put it in right now. I have just enough to make this particular solve. So, there. And I solved the staff thingy, whatever. Now, another thing that I should talk about is skill ups and how to skill up effectively. Another thing that I noticed when reading the comments on Wowhead discussing archaeology is, well, first off, every time you get a solve, you get 5 skill ups. But one thing that I noticed is that people who are after stuff in like fossil archaeology or dwarf archaeology or troll archaeology or whatever, a lot of the things that people would do is they would happen upon a rare and then skip the rare and stay away from it until they got, until they actually wanted it, and they just focus on other dig sites and stuff instead of solving the rare. And I would caution you against this, because as it turns out, the rares actually generally cost about 3 times as much as a normal solve. Like, for example, a couple of the rares that I have are the Clockwork Gnome and Fossilized Hatchling. If I recall correctly, one of these cost 90 fragment things, and the other cost 85. So this is about 3 times the cost of a normal solve. However, they also gave 3 times the skill ups. I got 15 skill ups from each one of those 2 rare solves. So yeah. Now what I'm doing right now is I am saving up all my troll fragments, and I got a bunch of troll tablets. I'm saving these all up. And once I hit 450, I'm going to solve all of them and hope for the best and cross my fingers and hope that I get Zin'kroh, the World Destroyer, as a potential solve. Because with the way that archaeology works at the moment, if you level up too far and then start farming, you're going to have a harder time getting stuff, because you're going to be sent to dig sites in vashj'ir, and you're going to be sent all over the place for your troll or dwarf archaeology finds. So the best way to increase your odds is to do it while you're leveling. Save up your stuff as you level, and level off of the stuff that you don't need. In my case, I don't need dwarf archaeology because this is my Death Knight, as you can see. And I don't really need fossil archaeology, because that doesn't really give anything except for the vanity pet and the vanity mount. So yeah, this has been my tutorial guide thing for what you do to boost your chances on what you're getting from troll archaeology and dwarf archaeology, and you can apply these same principles to any of the other archaeology branches. You can apply this to anything that gives you whatever it is, the rare item that you want, really. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found the information useful. This is Balthazar3457, and I will see you guys later.